Welcome to Small Arms Solutions. Today we're looking at the Rock River Arms LAR 6, which is a 6.8 SPC caliber rifle. Now the 6.8 has had its up and down. Originally it was developed as a military cartridge, and it never quite made that. And it never really achieved the popularity that many would have expected. And even today, the 300 Blackout has surpassed it, in light years. But the 6.8 cartridge has definitely proven its mettle as an excellent hunting cartridge. Down here in Texas, we have a lot of issues with feral hogs. And 6.8 is probably one of the most ideal hunting rounds that you can have for that. And it's very popular down here for that purpose. The round, its ballistics, it's ideal for hunting hogs, hunting deer, any medium-sized North American game. Not a lot of manufacturers manufacture these. Some of the bigger ones, for instance, like LMT, they manufacture a barrel for their MRP with the SAMI Spec 1 chamber. As far as the Spec 2 chambers, you'll see like Barrett, you'll see Rock River, you probably see MMG, I believe. LWRCI, probably of anybody who manufactures 6.8 rifles, has invested more money into the development of their 6.8. So some of the big manufacturers still manufacture the 6.8. You never saw the Colts, or you never saw the Knights, or you never saw some of those other other the big boys manufacturing this cartridge, because the money just wasn't there for the military sales, and that's what these guys are going for. But as a commercial rifle, it's excellent. Still sells well. I have some ammunition here, which is the ammunition that I prefer to use. The Hornady manufactures some of the finest ammunition out there. Now, everything that you see here is referred to as Spec 1. For those of you who aren't familiar with the Spec 1 and Spec 2 chambers, when the 6.8 SPC was first in development, as you can see from this box right here, now I got to tell you a story about this box. This was the first run of prototype 6.8 ammunition around the 2004-2003 time period. I basically had to swear on my life that I would not give a single cartridge case out or a picture of this when I got this box of ammunition. This ammunition, when it was developed, was still in its preliminary stages. But as soon as any of the manufacturers heard about the 6.8 coming out, everybody wanted to jump on the bandwagon and get it out immediately. So everybody drilled barrels. Not all of them were consistent, and got the guns into production. In fact, you had more guns into production than you had ammunition being manufactured because it wasn't finalized. So after the cartridge was finalized, you had what was referred to as a Spec 2 chamber, which was the optimized cartridge. Now, the Spec 1 was a lower power, it was a lower pressure cartridge, which was the SAMI Spec. That was a cartridge that was made so it would be able to go in all of the guns that had been currently made and not blow them up due to the higher pressures. So the Spec 1 is the SAMI Spec. So if you were, for instance, LMT is one of the ones that does this, they go with the SAMI Spec. There's some other manufacturers, but most of them nowadays are all going to the Spec 2 chamber for the higher pressure ammunition. Now, as far as the ammunition is concerned, because of the concern of the Spec 2 chamber, people who don't have that, these manufacturers have all manufactured to Spec 1 or the lower pressure specifications. The main company that was manufacturing the higher pressure Spec 2 ammunition is Silver State Armory. There may be some on top of that I'm not aware of. I don't know everything. I'm the first one to admit that. But there are some other companies that do make the Spec 2 or the higher pressure ammunition. This barrel here is a Spec 2. This is a modern, up-to-date, that will take any of the current ammunition that's out in the industry. But that ammunition right there was the first prototype ammunition that came out. Most of what I use is the Hornady. The Hornady does everything that you would want it to do. Now, I do at some point plan on going out and doing some hog hunting with this caliber, and it'll be this one right here. It'll be the Boars Beware specific round GMX designed for hog hunting. The American Eagle that you see here, also the Remington UMC, is really good stuff for just target shooting. And quite honestly, it's not that overpriced. It's not that much more than, say, a box of 760 by 39 that's not manufactured by Wolf. If you were looking at American Eagle, 760 by 39 or 6.5 Grendel, the prices are about the same. They're not too outrageous to be able to shoot. For as far as another little issue this rifle always had was magazine reliability. There's been a lot of companies who have manufactured magazines. We have here a D&H Tactical, and we have a C Products Defense, and we have PRI, or Precision Reflex Industries. Now, PRI is probably, of all companies, the one who has the most vested in the 6.8 in its early development. All the early development of the magazines and rifles, prototype rifles, most of them were manufactured by Dave Dunlop over there. And to this day, from no matter what rifle I've shot in the 6.8, short of the LWRCI, who has the dedicated 6.8 magazine, the PRI magazine is the best manufactured magazine in the industry. They're generally around 25 rounds, but I have to say, I've fired Armalites, Rock River, I've had some other ones over the years too. I can't even remember all of them. I've literally hundreds and hundreds of guns over the years. I've never had an issue with a PRI magazine. These here have been touch and go. The D&H Tactical has been very well. The C Products Defense and the regular C Products, they're manufactured out in Connecticut, the Hartford area. Some of them work, some don't. It would depend. Ammunition-wise too, some ammunition work better than others, but for the most part, as long as I had a PRI magazine, I had no issues. Now, looking at this rifle here, we're going to go over a little bit here. You have a regular mil-spec barrel, which is chrome-plated, and you have a 16-inch barrel with a mid-length gas system. The mid-length gas system is just as effective on a 6.8 as it is on a 5.56 for as far as reliability, giving that just a little bit extra dwell time. We have standard mid-length handguards. I mean, you certainly could take any handguard in the industry that's mid-length. You could put on a free float rail. You could put on anything that you would want. The gas block you see here is not pinned in place. It's actually put in with two big locking screws. You have a flat 1913 rail base on the front. This is also a part that's available from Rock River Arms as a parts upgrade. Standard Delta ring. You have a standard mil-spec type stock. This is the commercial type stock, as you can see from the angle on here, rather than it being squared down as the mil-spec is. You do have the forward assist. You have a fire cartridge case deflector. This is a standard A2 lower receiver, but it is marked L6 for Rock River Arms designation for this is the LAR 6 rifle, 6.8. Scope mount is an Aero Precision lightweight aluminum mount. Excellent mount, lightweight. And the optic on here, this is the Bushnell AR optic. This is a 1:4 if I recall. This is an excellent scope. You don't want to spend a lot of money, but 4-20 is really good for anything under a couple hundred yards. Will work quite well for hunting. I had this one set up on here because it just seems like it would be a good match. It's not a lot of money, but it's a decent optic. The bolt carrier group, typical M16 M4 type with a 6.8 bolt. Now you do of course have to have a special bolt to go along with the 6.8 cartridge because you have a much wider rim. So like any 6.8, it requires a separate barrel, separate magazine, and a separate bolt. All the other parts are compatible with any other M4 type rifle. For as far as this one's concerned, fit and finish on it are excellent. I've had a few. This is my third Rock River I've looked at. The first one I looked at was the LAR 47, which is the one that took the 7.62x39 AK magazine. I really, really liked that. In fact, I ended up buying that one. For as far as reliability, it didn't like PMags, but it liked everything else. The steel magazines, it was reliable as can be. It was an excellent rifle. The next one was one of the LAR 15s, which was an excellent rifle. It was a little bit overgassed, but other than that, it was accurate. It was reliable. There was no problems. So I want to get another one, which is one of the 6.8s. We're going to see a 9mm, I think, coming up next, either 9mm or one of the 308s. I'm going to take a look at all the different ones that are in this family of weapons. Rock River Arms also, if you look at their catalog, probably has, short of Brown Owls, it probably has more, offerings of accessories, rifles, configurations, accessories than anything else in the industry. They're very well stocked, so they're definitely a one-shop stop for things as well. I think what we're going to do now is we're going to take the sucker out to the range and we're going to see how it shoots. Quite pleased with the performance of this, like I have been with the last couple of Rock River Arms products. Again, for any of you guys who are looking to hunt boar or hunt any kind of medium-sized game, this is an excellent rifle. You're still going to be around, you know, the $1,200-1,500 mark with this one. It's affordable. You're not going to have to sell your firstborn to buy one. It's modular, just like any other M4. You'll take any accessory that you want, any stock, any pistol grip, ambi controls, handguards, muzzle devices. You can suppress it. It will give you everything that you want, but you don't have to start off with, you know, paying $2,000 for one. Reliability is what I was expecting, and if you have any questions regarding any of the Rock River Arms rifles that I've tested, please feel free to leave a comment. I'll see if I can answer. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please click like, please subscribe, even better, share. Thank you.